So before I start the audio file, this is not a suicide note. This is just me venting and expressing my feelings into words. So this is not perfect, and I do say things that does not make sense and miss out on words because that's just how I do. That's just how I speak in general. And yeah, so going in, know that this is me in a very depressed state, and I am expressing some very strong emotions, and I do not necessarily mean everything that I say in this video, but it did make me feel good, and I am going to post it in hope that somebody finds a message or something of value inside of it. So knowing that, I hope you enjoy it if there's anything to enjoy in it. If you do, thank you for listening, and that's it. Just go into this audio knowing that this is a very scuffed emotional vent. There's a lot of these on the internet, and they are cringy, and this one is cringy, and I am still posting it because it is cringy, and I guess some people can relate to that. I do. So here you go. Without further ado, here's my depressed audio.
I don't know. I'm confused, stressed, sad, scared. I assume I'm depressed. Then again, I am thinking that the overall weather is bringing my mood down. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. Everything just feels like a mess. My brain is deoriented, confused. I have this anxious feeling in my body and I can't get rid of it. I lack sleep. I'm malnourished. I don't have energy. I want to do something productive. Something I'll like and it'll make me feel better. And I thought of some ideas. I even went to the library today. Got myself one book of image and a graphic novel. I don't know if I'm gonna read or look at any of these two books, but I got them, and going to the library made me feel at ease. I needed somewhere lonely and warm, and home couldn't provide me that. So I went to the library. I wonder every day if actually giving up on what I want to do, my ambitions, is the solution to all my problems. Just accept things as they are. Maybe it'll be easier, but the consequences and all the work and all the responsibilities I'll have to take, knowing that taking that decision will bring even more problems than it'll solve. I am hesitant, and I still cling on to hopes and dreams. So here I am, with some malfunctioning frontal lobe or whatever. I am unsure of what the actual disease / neurodeficiency that is inside my brain. It's not very clear since my medication aren't doing much. They are doing some, but not much. So, as of what's happening in my brain every single day, I am unaware. All I know is that it's preventing me from actually doing the thing that I want to do once in a while. So, I have half the time where I'm sad and half the time where I'm happy. So, judging by what the treatment my mom's been getting and what people have been telling me, I appear to be ADHD with some slight dyslexia, whatever that means, and maybe autism. Yet the autism one is not very likely, as it is just a slight incomprehension and sarcasm that might just be me not comprehending what people mean when they talk to me, and if people are serious or not in certain amount of times. I do have a time finding my words, and pronouncing stuff is harder when I speak to people than when I think or just speak to myself in general. Even now, I'm just spitting out what's coming out of my head, and some words just don't seem to burst out, or I just pronounce them wrong, even though I know how to pronounce them in my brain. It's just my muscle coordinations are not pushing my muscles to spit out the vocals I want to say. My imagination is vast, and it's been proven by the people who have been able to get a little bit of storytelling of whatever's come out of my brain. These people have appreciated what I've put out in the past. Yet in what I do want to do in life, I can't seem to shit anything that comes out of my brain correctly. And as far as I'm concerned, all I need to do is practice. But apparently there's right and wrong ways to practice, and good and wrong times, and ways and not ways to do it, and time to not do it. Which is, for God's sake, fucking confusing. My brain has a hard time doing the things at the right time. And I often miss out on the important things in life, such as building strong relationships, spending time with my family, and doing things valuable to people around me. So instead, I do the thing that my brain wants me to do, but most often than not, it leads me to places I don't want to be. Even though, ever since I was a child, and even now, everyone is telling me that I should follow what I should do, and my brain feels like doing in the moment. I feel boxed in choices of things I could do in the present moment, and these choices are vast and yet limited, and they all vary in excitement and so on and so forth. Yet I don't want to do any of them. As the present moment, I just want to rest and do nothing. I just want to stay in my car and enjoy the silence while it lasts. Here, when I'm parked wherever I am, is the only time where I can enjoy loneliness, free of all consequences and responsibility, free of being unmotivated, being blocked by this feeling of fear and anxiety whenever I actually come close to doing something productive, this mental block of going inside my head whenever I'm blocked in any kind of problems. I am forever blocked inside a mental state that I have no control. One day I'll wake up and maybe I'll be able to be productive today, and the other day I'll wake up and my brain just doesn't want to function normally. And it's not like I don't want to. I do want to do things. I want to succeed, and I want to make people proud. But there's this feeling or this voice screaming to just not do it. It's not always there, but when it's there, I just can't do anything. Or at least I'm very limited in the things I can do, or I have the motivation to do. And regaining motivation for the things I should be doing is impossible. I have tried. I've taken medication. I have tried to put myself in certain mental states and condition my brain into a productive state. Yet, it works sometimes temporarily for a very short amount of time. The most I've gotten is a week. And that was a couple of years ago. I've gotten close a couple of months ago, but I was gone as soon as it arrived. I'm fed up. Just as anyone who feels exactly like me, I feel completely alone. I know there's other people exactly like me in the same situation, but it's hard to relate. My situation is personal. It's a struggle I have to fight alone. Despite people being around me to help and relating, only me can beat this. Yet I feel so powerless, out of control. I'd like to describe myself as a person who likes having control. Yet gaining it is 10 times harder than what it appears to be like for the people around me. But I tell myself that that's just a delusion. It's just to make me feel better about my weaknesses. So I lament, and I'm hard on myself, and I look around me, and all I can do is enjoy, as I can't achieve much. I can achieve some, and I am improving, but this block, it's just limiting me and making me fall behind so far. If I persevere, I could get somewhere, but not anywhere that society would like me to be. I am very aware. I'm not pessimist. It's just being realist. And I try and be optimist. I do have enjoyments. From time to time, I play some D&D games, and I actually get productive on creating some stuff out of my mind. And like I said earlier, the people who plays my D&D games seems to enjoy it very much, and it keeps me motivated. But I can't make a living off a D&D game, unfortunately. So being a game master is not a career option. So I go for the second thing that brings me enjoyment and gets a positive response from the people around me, because I need these two variables to actually want to do anything and be a little bit more motivated to actually accomplish things. Like I mentioned, the first one is enjoying the things that I do and getting positive response from the people around me. And the only two things I got so far is drawing and game mastering for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So I do these two things, and it kind of goes and overlaps my routines. I skip school to do it. I still go to work, and I get paid, but unfortunately, at my first job, I have fallen into a very bad spending habits, and now I'm trying to break them as much as I can. And I have found myself in some debt that I shouldn't be at my age. I don't have any money to move out of my parents' house, and I am not very advancing in my school studies. Despite wanting to get out of school and being a responsible adult, the block I've mentioned earlier is in the way. And beating it is a tremendous task. And it's conditional, vice, and etc. I've talked about it earlier. I have mental debate in my head, and the things that I say are very interesting to me. Yet whenever I start recording and speak to the microphone, it's like I start speaking to someone else. And it doesn't come as a dialogue to me, for me, but as a dialogue from me to someone else. And it just blocks all the thoughts I assume smart or interesting. And so these great ideas that would be actually great, I know it, on paper are stuck in my brain and there to reside forever. I can train to try and put them into words and express them into this very microphone, but I don't know how to do it. I have tried, but doing so would take time. I would have to sacrifice art, Dungeons & Dragons, school, work, just to do that. I have a lot of free time, yet I'm not spending it as well as I'd like. And I'm very aware. I am so very aware. And it's agonizing. Sometimes I wish I would just put a knife inside my eyeballs and turn blind, so if I'm blind, I wouldn't have to be an artist or go to work. I could just stay inside my room in silence and listen to what I like, the sound of things, the natural chaos. Because really, that's what I enjoy to do. That's what I've always done. I've always enjoyed observing, never doing. But in today's society, we're pressured to do because we can't look. Or at least if we look, we have to document it. And that is also something I need to learn to do. And it requires expertise in which I cannot gain in the current present moment or do not have. And as stated earlier, when I record, it becomes a different mental state and I just can't express myself. This is very emotional for me and very personal, and I don't talk about my problems to anyone. I keep them to myself because sharing them would mean a lot more problem than solving any. And actually sitting down to explain how I feel to someone would be a tremendous challenge, and I'd have to fight my social anxieties as well as expressing myself correctly and controlling the state of my partner in which I am sharing the information, and so that they listen to everything that I have to say without interruptions, which is hard. I can't look at people in the eye. I have to force myself to do it. It's just, I've taken the bad or just the habit of just not looking at people's face. It's easier to face them that way. It's easier to express myself, or else I have to focus on their on their facial expressions, and it's harder to focus on what I'm saying. That said, it's a lot easier for me to memorize things and learn, but I still fall behind because when it comes to applying what I learn or practicing dexterity, I just can't do it. So like I said, factually, or at least personally, I think that my brain does work a little better than the average. I do register information a lot faster than people, but everything else is low. As much as my mental capacity is extremely high, everything else is extremely low. And I'm messed up. I feel completely broken. Broken is not the word. Like, built wrong would be the best way to describe it. It's like having all the wrong stats in a video game. I'm trying to go for something, but I'm built for something else. It's like a cube trying to roll, but it's been built to just stand there. I can't roll. I'm cubical. Yet I try so hard to just spin around, and the obvious option would just let go. But I can't. I'm one heck of a perseverant cube, and I'm not going to stop until I die, no matter the cost, no matter what that implies. And that thought is very depressing, and even to me, it's scary. Yet I will hold on to those feelings, and I believe I'll do so until the day I die. The things I say might sound cheesy, but those are real emotions coming from my heart. But then again, there is comedy and tragedy. I apologize. So, to finish my thoughts, I am going to exit out of my car now and end this moment of silence that I have come to enjoy. I do this often, every day in fact. I just sit there somewhere and I speak. This is my first time recording. I don't know who's going to listen to this, if anyone, but I assume it's going to, at least I have lost my train of thought. And whatever I was going to say was nonsensical. So you don't have to worry about it. Just forget about this section. I believe I'm going to post this. Probably on YouTube. But I don't know. This is a lot of information. And judgment is scary. But I don't care about judgment. I have never cared about judgment. What I care is about the affirmation of the people around me. Yet I seem to just not get it as quite as I'd like. All the effort I do is for the people around me to notice. It is a selfish thought, a selfish feeling, yet it's the only thing that keeps me going, so I have to hold on to it without telling anybody that. And if I do tell, I apologize again, I feel if I do tell about this feeling I have, now I'll just feel like people are forcing it, and they'll just block me again. And so I try and get better at the things I do. I practice drawing almost every day. Sometimes not as much as I'd like, but I've got into a state where I am proud of my drawings most of the time. Yet, the affirmation I get from people are quick and sparse. I assume it's like that for everybody. I expect people to notice that I am actually trying to get better at the things that I do, for the people to notice that I am trying to do that for them. Yet, I apologize again. Someone came in, and for this, if I want this audio recording to be as fluid as I can, I have to be alone. So I had to wait till somebody passed. I apologize. As I was saying, I am aware that I have to do the things that I want to do for me. And it kind of is, because being good at drawing or being good at D&D is making me feel better about my own worth. But without the people to enjoy what I do, I can't be the only person to enjoy what I make. Or else I would just observe and listen. If it really roared up to my own happiness, I would just sit in a chair all day at a park and watch. Because that's what I'm the best at. That's what I'm good at. That's what makes me feel alive. That and the affirmation. Yet, I know my thirst of affirmation and talent will never be quenched, as it is just a never-ending cycle. I appreciate the support that everybody has been giving me so far. It kept me going pretty good, and it will kept me going, whatever that sentence meant. It is grammatically wrong, but you understand, I hope. Today the sky is gray, with a little bit of blue peeking out, and it's gorgeous. It's depressing, but it's gorgeous. And the trees that are, soon to be regaining their leaves are gorgeous as well. And the sound of the grass as I walk into it is beautiful and satisfying. The wind is moderately strong, and it's cold. I'm not a fan of freezing temperatures, but I have come to enjoy them a little bit more. I just can't stand it for too long, or else I get very uncomfortable. I miss warmth, and I'm excited for summer to come, so I can go outside more and observe, as I've completely neglected my will to observe things. And I'm at ease, and my anxieties have calmed. I do try to analyze everything around me so I can get a good grasp of the present moment, but in a blink of an eye, I'll know this will be gone, and I'll back to be focused on the future and the past and anything else that makes me anxious. So I'm kind of stressed and anxious about ending this moment I'm having. So I'm just going to stand here in silence, observing.